Okay, today it's a cold day here in December. We're going to revisit the South Plains Mall. There's the Cheesecake Factory. The South Plains Mall, I think it was opened in the early 70s. I think I was about 5 years old. I remember walking into this front door here, and I remember that the pet store, Bonnet Pet Store, was right here. The first thing you saw when you came in were the puppies and kittens and birds and fish, and they would be right here as soon as you walked in the door, which now it's Barnes and Noble. And for a long time, it was Luby's Cafeteria was here after the pet store, and I worked there at Luby's Cafeteria for about 4 years. I think this has always been it looks like a t-shirt shop now. Looks pretty good. I remember that Radio Shack was right here, and then I think on the other side of that was a tuxedo place, rental place, I think, if I'm right. It's always been some kind of salons over on this side. Okay, there's Vans shoes. They became popular in the 80s. There used to be a store here in this area called David Stationery, and that was the store where we would buy our Chinese throwing stars. There's Spencer's now. I think it used to be in the other hallway, but it's still here. Tattoos in the mall. Tattoos and piercings in the mall. There once was a bookstore right here, and this hallway was not here. This hallway was not here, and there was a bookstore here. I think it was called Walden's. No, I think that's where the first place where we bought our Dungeons and Dragons books was. And then over here was Chelsea Street Pub. Next to that was the Brittany. I say this hallway didn't exist when the mall first opened. An attitude you can wear, huh? JCPenney's, which has been here forever. Now they've got this play place here. There's massage chairs. I know you've sat in that before. Horseshoe Speed Factory. It's a pretzel store. I think originally the only places to eat here were Poco Taco, Chick-fil-A, the corn dogs place. I'm not sure. There's a little train, but it's all covered up with tarps right now. Dragon Home, that's a pretty cool store to go through. I don't have enough time, I think, to go through here today, but they have a bunch of cool stuff in here. Different art and things, toys. George Costanza. That's a pretty big picture. You have to be a pretty big fan to have that. These are like some quinceañera dresses or something like that, like fancy dresses. Reflexology, that's a foot rubbing. It's a fancy word for foot rubbing. There's a knife place. I wonder if they have the throwing stars. They might. I don't know. That's pretty cool stuff there. That statue is really neat. And this dragon. This really is pretty beautiful. Okay. The blue kangaroo. Oh, this is an arcade. It's not like we used to have an arcade too, but this has changed a lot. It's a lot different. I'm not going to play any games, but this doesn't really resemble the ones that we used to have. Okay, this is where the mall used to end, right here. All of this was built on before. This used to be the outside wall right here. Right here where I'm standing used to be the outside wall of the mall. And over here on this side over here was a little restaurant called Poco Taco. And we used to get our bean burritos there, and man, that was good. This whole food court thing was not here. All these toys. It's pretty neat now though. I like it. I mean, it's got these little riding toys for kids. There's some kids here. There's that whole carousel. Yeah, this is where Poco Taco was. That was a pretty cool looking little car. This big carousel. That stuff was not here. It didn't have like a food court like this, but right here, there was a t-shirt shop where they would put your name on a t-shirt, and usually what you did was you got your name or written on across the back of the top and the back, and you got some kind of decal. It was like a heat transfer, and we all had them. Everybody had those t-shirts. Remember some stores that were here. Now they've got a pretty good little restaurant section. Here's Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's always been in the mall, but I think this is the third location that it's been in this mall, and that just doesn't make sense to me. I don't know why. I think it was over on that corner, and then it moved over here, and then it just moved right across the hallway right here. I don't understand the logic behind that, but I guess so. There's a Mrs. Fields cookies. Okay, right here, this was originally the center point of the mall. This hallway did not exist. Over here was Buster Brown shoes. Right here was what our arcade was. It was called Family Fun World, and it had, I believe that's the first place I ever played Pac-Man and Space Invaders, and they had miniature golf, I remember. And next to the door to that was a cafeteria called Wyatt's Cafeteria. That's another place that was here in the mall to eat. I remember now. And we used to eat there. We ate there a few times, but I was so young I don't remember. And over here, this was the corn dog place for a little while. I'll go down this way. Over here was where Smoker's Haven was. And there was some kind of place over here, I remember, where you could buy an icy. And the Disney store was here, but that wasn't original. But it was here and gone. And down this hallway has always been here. I believe Chess King. Now, Chess King is where you would go to buy your parachute pants. And they weren't really like balloony looking pants. They were pants made out of parachute materials. Oh wow, they opened up a Toys R Us in here. I haven't been here since they did that. We're gonna look at that a little bit here. But what they don't talk about is that there were also parachute jackets. They were just made out of parachute material, and they had a lot of zippers on them. And but they weren't like baggy pants. That's not what they were. Okay, and then yeah, you'd buy that at Chess King, and then there was Hot Topic, Gadzooks. Right in this area was where the Toys by Roy store was, where was my very favorite place to be in the whole world, was Toys by Roy. I remember some presents that I got from there for Christmas. Reprint your own pictures in less than 15 minutes. Oh, cool. That's pretty cool. Okay, and then going on down this way. I remember there was a Wilson's Leather. What else? I'm not remembering everything, and I noticed that in the other videos about this mall that people have commented. I'm sorry, I can't remember everything, but maybe you can help me. I remember out this door here, though. I don't remember, but right around the corner there was the movie theater, and the movie theater was only accessible from the outside, I guess because it was open after the hours or something. Pretty sure that's where I saw Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi, and anyway, I saw not the original first Star Wars movie, but the other two of the first three movies I saw there. Saw a lot of movies there, actually. This part of the mall has been really kind of dead here lately. Premier, Lux 16, IMAX and Pizza Pub. That's the new movie theater that they built here. That's an IMAX theater. They said that they have you can eat, and they have those seats that shake and move, and I've never done it before, but I'm not saying I wouldn't. I mean, I just haven't. I don't want to go by myself, and that's time I can't spend with my dog, and I don't know. I'm not trying to make excuses. I just wouldn't really just go do that by myself. Maybe if I had somebody to go with me. Anyway, let's see what kind of movies they're showing, because I don't even know anymore. Oh no. I don't like the way they make that. It looks too crazy. That might be pretty cool. I don't know. Oh, a Kill Bill movie? Kill Bill. That was a pretty good movie, I think. Anyway, that's what they're showing. Oh, here's a new Wicked movie. I had a friend that really just loved that movie, Wicked, so much. Okay, right now, I'm gonna have to make a jump cut because I'm not gonna backtrack through where I've been, and I'll pick up right at the center again.